Well, these are all certainly welcome back to the channel again. Keith here from Command the Hoop Celtic. If it's your first time viewing my channel, please hit that subscribe button below. A thumbs up or a comment below would be absolutely fantastic. I said I put the microphone down and have a chat with you. Just go with the flow, Bobby Joe, as you say. Look, we're here to talk about Josip, Juranovic, Giakoumakis, a couple of players that could be potentially leaving the club in this coming window. First of all, Giakoumakis, a guy that we all want to stay at the club. I've made it clear on the channel that I'd like to see Josip Giakoumakis stay at the club. I think he has a lot of potential. His contract's not up until May 2026, and we shouldn't be letting this 28-year-old go. I think we have a lot of potential of keeping him here. I think he's pretty happy in Glasgow. He had a little girl here, and life is good for Josip Giakoumakis, win the league trophy, win the League Cup, scoring 25 goals in the space of 52 games is remarkable for the Greek forward. Why should Celtic let him go? The only way Celtic should let him go if it opens the door for South Korean Cho Gwen-sung to come in. Now, this is a young South Korean forward that played in the World Cup with the likes of Sung that off Tottenham. Scored a couple of goals, pissed off Cristiano Ronaldo. Been reports that other clubs in Europe are looking at him. Borussia Dortmund have withdrawn their interest from Vera Varos. Celtic should be getting this guy if Giakoumakis goes. Reportedly, he plays in the K-League and they're going to be looking for a fee of 3.5 million to offload him. I think that's a remarkable fee, considering this is the potential of a guy that's played in the World Cup. We can get him for 3.5 million and Giakoumakis goes for 6 million to Saudi Arabia. It's a winner. It's a simple winner. But if Giakoumakis doesn't go, we still need to bring a striker in this transfer window. I think we're lacking a bit of options up front. I've said it. We can play Maeda there. We can play Abada there. Kyogo's our second choice forward certain games and starts Kyogo. I don't know what's going to happen the weekend against Aberdeen. Will Giakoumakis start? Will it be Kyogo? It's a tough one to say, but Josip Juranovic, a lot of talk of him in the last couple of weeks. I constantly keep bringing up on the channel, and the latest club that are linked, a club that hasn't won a league title in over 50 years, Torino of Serie A. Joe Hart had a spell at Torino when he was at Man City, as you see in this picture here. I don't think Torino and Celtic should be even talking. Reports that Celtic minimum they would accept for Josip Juranovic right now is 17 million. Don't get me wrong, we bought him for 2.5 million. I've said in this channel, and I'll make myself clear again, minimum is 25 million. 25 million. I think it's a massive step back going to Serie A. It's a great league, don't get me wrong, but you're a mid-table team that are not even fighting for Champions League football. They're mid-table in the Serie A. They're not doing good. They don't have a rich history like the way they did back in the 50s and the 60s. They've won feck all, and it's a stadium of 27,000, but you can play at Celtic Park, a 60,000 seater stadium, being idolised. Yeah, the weather's a bit better than Italy, but you're playing against some really good teams, like obviously the Juventus, the Milans, the Napolis, the Roma, the Lazios. I wouldn't leave Celtic to go to Serie A, especially if they're probably going to offer double the price. But no, definitely I think it's if Celtic cash in on 17 million on Josip Juranovic, I think it's an absolute disaster. I've had a chat with a couple of people over the last couple of days, and a few people have said let him go. Some people have said stay, and I want to know in the comments what you think. Should he go for the right fee? Now, I've had some people saying he's worth 50 million, 40 million, and that's all to opinion. James McCarthy, I've talked about on the channel numerous of times. I think he needs to move on. I think Ideguchi needs to move on. Unfortunately, it hasn't worked out for Ideguchi. Yeah, I think another clear out will have to happen, definitely in this window. I think we need to get rid of the duds. We have a few on loan as well. We got the likes of Abnieti on loan there. It's Strumgratz. We have Sorrow on loan, which they have an option to buy. We have Barkas on loan. We have Hazard back. These are type of players. Montgomery's on loan. I don't know where he sees his career at Celtic. Probably third choice left back. Obviously behind Berda Bay and Greg Taylor. it's hard to say. It really is a hard grind, and we've Scales on loan at Aberdeen, which he's becoming a fan's favourite up there. I don't know what the situation with Scales is. When I met Scales in Glasgow International, he was telling me that he bought a house. He only purchased the house, and then obviously that move a week later came to Batodry, and Jim Goodwin's a big fan of him, and it was a bit of a sucker punch that they didn't get to have the option to buy him at the end of the season. But if the money's right and Celtic sell him to Aberdeen, wish him the very best, but it's very hard to see Liam Scales getting back in that team with the players that we brought in, the quality, the consistency within the defence. I can't see it happening. I've said it as well with Maurice Jens. He's on loan from Montpellier, and is it a case that we can get this guy on a proper permanent deal? Perhaps. And a lot of people are a fan of Jens ahead of Starfelt, and that's completely up to yourselves. The other day, I'd rather Starfelt for the consistency with Carter Vickers. This is a title winning centre backs people forget about. Carter Starfelt was absolutely horrendous. Took him ages to settle in the Celtic squad, and then by November he was settled. And I thought a couple of dodgy mistakes in the League Cup final against Hibs. I know that was in December. He found his feet, and he came back stronger and stronger. And I think even with Starfelt, when he came back from his injury against Real Madrid, I think he's been a good player, and I think a lot of people still doubt his capability. This is a Swedish international, and for Starfelt to come in from Rubin Kazan, not get a pre-season under his belt at the time, and eventually go on to win a title with Cameron Carter-Vickers. Cameron Carter-Vickers is one of the best centre-backs Celtic has had in recent years. I've said that in the channel. The last time we had a decent centre-back like himself was Virgil van Dijk. Yeah, we've had Boyatis, we've had Stirchenkos, we've had Invincibles in there, we've had Colo Torres and all, but, Carter-Vickers, he's just a machine, and he's onto something. Like, he's obviously took the captaincy of a Callum McGregor when Callum McGregor was injured, and he's done a good job. And look, Callum is back in the mix, and it's great to see the boys were in the hospital today. The Celtic Foundation donated 10,000 as well towards the Children's Hospital, which is fantastic to see. And it's great to see that time of the year. Obviously, there was pictures of Kyogo and Karabashi up in Georgia Square yesterday on the Ferris wheel. Lucky for some. But look that's it from me. Who would you like to see Celtic bring in? Do you think we should recall anyone back on loan? Are you happy with the current squad? Some people always say we need to improve. Do you think if we bring in too much players in this January window with another 2 or 3, do you think it's going to change the consistent flow of winning? You want to have that, that special formula where we're winning. The squad is settled. Don't bring in too many additions. And I think last year it was all about, cropping that team, getting the right players in, getting the duds out, the ones that didn't want to play for the short. And Ant done a phenomenal job with that. An absolutely phenomenal job. So that's really it for me. Do subscribe to the channel. You probably think I'm talking waffle, but I don't really give a fuck. So I'll speak to you all soon. Hail.